We're here to say hey and let you in.
What are you waiting for, hon?
Let the episode begin. The girl in
Pink and the boy in
blue. But forget the heteronorms. We're for all of you. She from the north.
He from the south.
Millennial to Gen Z. All these differences.
Girl, you're just like me.
Pop culture obsessed, and it's your turn to breathe. So come dive into the world of the poppy seed. Boom! Oh boy, I can't tell you how gay I feel. If tonight is just another kink in your steel.
Oh, had to be done. Hello and welcome back, my wee darlings, to the Poppy C Pod
Rewind.
I'm your host, Sarah Mackenzie.
And I'm your host, Jacob David. And this week is a part deux to our Girls Aloud Rewind.
Oh yeah, we went on a lovely nostalgic pop culture journey last week to when Girls Aloud were formed on the now iconic pop stars The Rivals, and we discussed their earlier years that followed.
Yes, there really was a whole lot of history to cover.
Oh, he's off again. But if you haven't listened to part 1 yet, what are you doing here? Go back and listen to episode 1 and we'll wait for you here. We're waiting. Now, let's kick off where we left the girls in 2008.
Let's hit the rewind button.
Woohoo!
Let's go, Eskimo. The Poppy C Pod. Making me a Gemini. Oof. We have landed back in 2008.
So it's only fair that we remind you of the pop culture landscape of 2008. Twilight had sunk its teeth into most teens, and our 4 girls from NY hit the big screens with the Sex and the City movie, the good one. We witnessed several comebacks. Harrison Ford returned to play Indiana Jones. High School Musical returned for the senior year.
Woo!
But no one does a comeback quite like our Britney. And not only was she back with Circus, she cleared up at the VMAs.
Netflix was still a DVD service, and the second iPhone had just launched, forever changing how the world interacted. Social media sites like YouTube and Facebook were entering the public domain and becoming popular. The year of, ouch Charlie, you bit my finger. The Dark Knight was released, but we did sadly lose our Joker, Heath Ledger, before it hit the big screens, and his legacy still lives on to this day. Beyoncé married Jay-Z and introduced us to her friend, Sasha Fierce. And Katy Perry burst into our lives, riding a giant chapstick, singing, I Kissed a Girl.
And she liked it. Honestly, it was such a vibe. I was in my second year at uni, having met my future husband the year before, and I tell you, there was a lot of partying. And of course, wearing the fashion of the time, my three-quarter length leggings with pretty much everything, and belts. Jacob.
Oh, did you love a belt?
Oh, did we love a belt? All the belts with everything, even if it was completely skin tight. So we were hitting those clubs, rocking our side fringes and office attire, and no one could stop us. What were you up to in 2008?
Well, I was still a primary school kiddo at this point.
Oh.
And for my birthday this year, I took my gal pals to see the previously mentioned High School Musical 3 senior year when it came out in the cinemas.
Of course you did.
This was a major pop culture moment as the first ever Disney Channel movie to be distributed and shown in cinemas. Mm-hmm. And if I wasn't putting on a High School Musical themed show with my pals and making our parents watch, I was watching The X Factor, which parlays rather conveniently back to our girls in this era. In May 2008, they were in the middle of their Tangled Up tour, which had to add extra dates as there was just so much demand for the girls. That summer, they did 34 shows, as well as 11 open-air shows. Tangled Up was by far their biggest tour to date, and reportedly cost $3 million, with £250,000 on the pyrotechnics alone.
Bang, bang, baby. Now, this was the OG Kitty Cat tour. They had actually signed a deal with the chocolate bar Kit Kat. Oh. And that year, the tour was sponsored by them and free chocolate was handed out at the show.
Oh, we went to the wrong tour, Sarah.
Right? It's estimated, and this is crazy, that the girls went through 15 tubes of mascara, 145 sets of fake eyelashes, 50 cans of hairspray, 250 fake nails, and 150 pairs of fishnets. And the stage outfits were designed by Julian McDonald.
Gosh, it sounds like the making of one of our Poppy C pod reels. Oh, and of course, I mean, Julian McDonald, how very 2008 of them.
Exactly. Now, the girls have said that their favourite part of the job is touring, which is another reason it was so amazing to see them back on stage this year in 2024. Obviously, it was incredibly emotional and very strange without Sarah. Sarah was the one person you could just rely on to bring that energy. She said in a documentary, 10, "I feed off the audience's energy. I feed off just the whole excitement of it. I love the whole atmosphere. It's like I become possessed and that old Stockport Sarah comes out and I just go, bang."
Oh, bless her. Oh, Sarah was just the best vibe.
Yeah.
When Kimberly talked about the touring days, she said she loved the fact that they actually got to a point that when the outfit options were all laid out, they all knew exactly who would choose what and which outfit was each girl's style. And I guess, hey, this avoided any arguments. But if you think about it, they did always have a signature style. You know, Kimberly had the cutout on the sides.
For that hourglass figure.
Nadine had her legs out, often dressed in a short skirt or a dress. And Sheza often rocked the crop tops.
With those enviable abs.
Apart from being an incredible tour, at this point the tour had seemed to help stop the rumours that had begun to bubble surrounding a group split. These rumours had been fuelled further when Nadine had dropped out of the programme The Passions of Girls Aloud.
Ah, The Passions of Girls Aloud. This was one of my favourites. So it was a 4-part series aired on ITV in March 2008. And it only needed 4 episodes in the end, as no Nadine. It was fun watching the girls follow their other interests and, well, their passions. Nicola's story was really heartfelt, as she's been open about how addicted she became to fake tan. Now, this was after a producer on Popstars The Rivals commented on how pale she was and made her get a spray tan. And that was it. She was addicted. When you look back at some of these videos, she looks ridiculous, like orange. And she would be the first one to say it.
Oh my gosh, I remember a video of the behind the scenes of them with their Love Machine music video outfits. And the way her dress is just completely stained orange. Madness.
Yes. Well, Jacob, apparently an even darker side to that was after that video, she had to go to hospital because of the burns on her skin from sunbeds.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Don't use sunbeds, folks.
And thankfully, she started to embrace her beautiful natural pale skin.
Yeah.
And on the show, she travelled to Taiwan to make a makeup range for her fellow pale girls. And it was a really clever move, as there was a big gap in the market. Dainty Doll, Nicola's makeup range, was released in April 2008 to rave reviews. While Kimberly, well, she followed her dreams onto the West End stage, auditioning for Les Mis. And that's a nice throwback to her first time on the stage in a Les Mis school production, where she first got the bug to perform. Now, after training between London and New York, bougie, she auditioned for a role and got the part.
Woo!
Jacob, she had made it. A part in a West End show.
Go on, girl.
Kimberly Walsh to star in Les Mis as...
Oh, well, who did she play?
the whore.
What?
The whore in the song Lovely Ladies.
Looking for a treat. Is it looking for a treat or looking for a bite?
A bit of both. It's the whores. A bite of that treat. Oh dear. Don't worry, Kim, I feel you. Do you know one of my first jobs on the stage after training?
Oh, yeah.
I was the courtesan from the Comedy of Errors. Now, while rehearsing for the show, Kimberly had to pop to LA for 2 days in the middle to film Call the Shots video. Then back to rehearsals.
Oh, the life of a pop star.
I know, right? But in a dramatic turn.
Oh.
It nearly didn't go ahead due to her jet lag. And the intense vocal training had actually really started to affect her voice.
Oh, no.
But it was all right on the night. She pulled it off because, Jacob, she wasn't just a slag. She was a total slag. Now, Walsh has stated in an interview with Metro that the experience was really hard because, to quote, the range for musicals is huge and you have to sing everything clearly. I haven't used my upper register for years. And to be fair, she's got a point. Like, she can sing and she's a great pop star. But in my opinion, musical theatre performers are the fucking Olympians of our industry.
Yes, they are. Except the musical theatre performers have bigger egos.
True.
I'm gonna lose half my followers.
I was just thinking that. Sorry, friends.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry. But y'all know it's true. Look, Sarah's passion was probably the most random, as she turned her hand to polo in Argentina.
See, I couldn't remember this until I rewatched.
And it really didn't go to plan. First, the match in Argentina, it was called off due to bad weather.
Oh, no.
Then, during the UK match, she suffered from lack of oxygen and fell off the horse.
Oh.
As Cheryl and Nadine watched on in support, she was taken out of the match for health reasons. And yeah, that was pretty much finito for Sarah and Polo.
Fairs.
Sheza took on street dancing in Compton. As we discussed on the first episode, our Cheryl can move.
Hashtag do the Cheryl.
Indeed. And she's been dancing since the age of 4, but never in this style. No surprises, she was of course fab at it, and this journey led to her meeting will.i.am of the Black Eyed Peas, and she was given the opportunity to audition for his music video, Heartbreaker. And, surprise, surprise, Cheryl gets the part.
Woohoo!
I mean, yeah, it would be a bit of an anticlimactic episode if she didn't. Yeah. So she got the part. She featured on the track, contributing vocals to the UK radio edit of the song, alongside appearing in the video. This show most definitely laid the foundations of the future for some of these girls' lives, especially Cheryl, with her relationship with Will igniting the flame of her solo career. She said, "From there, I just built this amazing relationship with Will. He was the person who encouraged me to go solo. If it wasn't for that moment, I wouldn't be here right now. The more I got to know Will, the more he would bring out of me." She credits him for giving her the confidence to start writing and to have the self-belief she could do it. And do it, she did. And then some.
Mm-hmm. Now, for a wee bit of controversy.
Oh.
Nadine was meant to be in the show and was originally meant to conduct an orchestra. Which I don't know why I find it so funny.
It's just extremely random. Is there a secret about Nadine we don't know?
Maybe. But she ended up pulling out due to the programme's bosses refusing to let her change her passion project to being a charity worker in Bolivia. Which I kind of see why.
Valid, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, if all the other girls were doing, besides Sarah and the polo team,
yeah,
were getting to do really, really rewarding things for their actual passions. And I think we need the tea on why she ended up being an orchestra player in the first place.
Right? But imagine you and I were like the passions of us. And then, I don't know, you were like, oh, I'm going to go try street dancing. And I was like, well, I'm going to be a charity worker in Bolivia. You'd be like, all right, thanks, Sarah. Like, do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's not as in keeping, but I don't know. I feel like, Nicola got to go and do something that was a bit more personal and rewarding for an experience that she had had before.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I can see Nadine as giving back to the community in Bolivia.
Yeah, but maybe just like in her own time. Like not as part of a programme.
But like, what was Girlie going to do in an orchestra? Play the cello?
Oh, no, she was meant to conduct it. So she was going to be the conductor.
Sorry, that's absolutely ridiculous. Good on you, Nadine. Get out of that silly little episode. That year, the girls landed another Brit nomination, but they lost out to the Arctic Monkeys for Best British Group. Honestly, the amount of girl groups that were robbed of that award. Mm-hmm. The group also added authors to their resumes and released their first ever autobiography.
A combined one for them all.
Pretty much, yeah. It's an insight into their personal lives and style tips. And it became a bestseller. Now, I remember me and my friend being taken to Tesco's for the food shop with our mums, and we would stand in the book section reading through this very book together.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. At this point, the girls really were everywhere, and they were still whacking out those top 10 hits. Fun fact, the band actually go on to notch up 20 top 10 singles throughout their career.
Wow.
They had secured huge brand deals with Sunsilk, Kit Kat, Samsung, and Nintendo.
Sarah also had become the face of Ultimo underwear. Unfortunately, it was for that awful Michelle Moan.
Boo. But the girlies were busy and booked. We touched on it last week, but Louis Walsh, their appointed manager after the show, must have been kicking himself after pretty much ignoring them for 2 years. The girls only remember speaking to him on the phone twice.
Oh, Louis.
Lulu. The girls essentially managed themselves as literal teenagers and made a lot of the musical choices with producers Xenomania, which is a real testament to the girls' talents and abilities.
He essentially lost out on the 21st century equivalent of the Beatles.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I'm going there.
That's a very bold statement,
Okay,
Sarah.
the Spice Girls.
Okay. And look, if they don't seem busy enough in 2008, they dropped their final studio album, Out of Control, in November, which had the epic pop song, The Promise, as well as singles, The Loving Kind and Untouchable.
Oh, The Promise. Let's talk The Promise. It's so good.
It's so good.
I mean, the styling, those dresses, it's
the
all
feel,
stunning.
the feel of the song is just
Yeah.
glamorous.
I'm sure I've told you this, Jacob, about the fact that for one of my friends' weddings, me and 4 other friends, one being the fabulous Phil Dunning, who did don a wig and go full drag, performed The
Slay.
Promise. And it was delightful. We were Girls Alouder.
That is such an appropriate name.
But unlike us and the girls, the label were not very impressed with this song.
What are they thinking?
And they had to fight for it to be their first single off the album. The label insisted they wanted something else. Our Sheza said that she had spidey senses and it was going to be a hit. Nadine flew back from the USA, where she was currently living, to join the other girls for a photo shoot. And then hit a standoff with the label. The label were saying it was the other song or nothing. So Nadine said, "Oh well, there's no point now. There's no point in me being here at this photo shoot." So she got up and started to leave. The bosses panicked. Panic. She said she was leaving unless they agreed to make it The Promise. 45 minutes later, it was The Promise.
Go on, girl. Come on, Nadine. Come on, Nadine.
Pretty badass move from our girl. But it wasn't just down to Nadine. As Nicola explained, it was the first time they all put their foot down.
Yes.
And their pop powers were working because it has gone down as a true pop classic. It went double platinum, giving them their most successful song to date. The album also went double platinum, hit number 1 on the UK charts, and went on to become Girls Aloud's best-selling studio album.
What a year for the girls. As they entered 2009, they found out they were once again nominated for a Brit Award.
Woo.
And as another FU to the label bosses, this nomination was for The Promise, alongside a performance slot for the evening. And they gave a fabulous performance, or rather, a fantastic performance.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
It was super camp, big pink fans, tiny gold sparkly bodysuits, big hair.
Oh, just delightful.
Could have been in our iconic awards show episodes, to be honest
Could
with
have
you.
been, could
It
have
was a
been.
close one. It was a close call, to be honest. After 4 unsuccessful attempts, the girls finally won their first Brit.
Yay!
It was such a deserving win, and Sarah clearly agreed, infamously shouting, "It's about time!"
Yes, Sarah.
when collecting the award. It took them 7 years to feel recognised in the industry, but they did it. Yes!
Yay!
And if this seems like the perfect place for the band to take a step back, to appreciate what they've achieved, put their heels up and give themselves a break, then hey, you'd be right. Kind of.
Yeah, almost, but not quite yet. After the win, they hit the road with the Out of Control tour. covering 34 dates after it was a sellout tour with again extra dates being added. It was also released on DVD, which to me seems quite late to be going DVDs. But are people still doing DVDs?
Yeah. We're not in the death of DVD era yet.
I mean, I've still kept mine because just in case the internet breaks.
Or we have a zombie apocalypse.
Right?
Yeah, valid. Not long after the end of the tour in July 2009, the group announced that they were taking a year-long hiatus to pursue solo projects and would reunite for a new studio album in 2010. But this did not materialise.
No. But 2 months after the announcement, they did do a pretty cool gig supporting Coldplay and Jay-Z at Wembley, which does seem a rather random combination now I've said it out loud. That 1 year break turned into 3.
Yes, it did. And this could have all been in part to Cheryl's solo career taking off the back of her iconic X Factor judging gig.
Yes, our Sheza was becoming a UK pop culture icon and did something quite unique in the fact that she managed to sandwich a hugely successful solo career pretty perfectly in between being a member of the most successful UK girl band of that decade. So what did our girls get up to during that 3-year break?
Well, throughout their breaks, there is no denying that Cheryl was the busiest. In 2008, Cheryl had already replaced Sharon Osbourne as a judge on The X Factor. She went on to win that year with Alexandra Burke. She even won again the following year, back to back, with fellow Geordie Joe McElderry, and became a firm fan favourite. She returned for the 7th series and came runner-up with Rebecca Ferguson, who lost that year to Matt Cardle. Love me some Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah. It was a crazy full circle moment seeing Cheryl at the judging panel, in that she was sat there next to Louis Walsh, who was their old group manager and judge from Popstars The Rivals. Over the years, the pair have had several run-ins and famously would regularly argue on the show, with one time Louis calling her orange, with her replying he was attention-seeking. Cheryl claimed he only took the checks when managing bands, with sassy Louis replying with, "I am a much better manager than she is a singer. She seems to be in the fashion business now, selling fake hair pieces, fake eyelashes, fake everything."
Oh, he goes in, doesn't he?
When Louis unleashes himself on someone, it's savage.
He doesn't stop.
He said when she first joined the show that she was a peacock and acted like it was her show. And during his latest appearance on Celebrity Big Brother, in his typical backhanded way, when asked if she was nice, he said, "Yeah, she is. She's not perfect, but she's nice." He then added, "She's a good girl. She's good. She's had a lot of negativity, but I like her. She doesn't know that. I like her more than she likes me." So he's got a bit friendlier in the recent years when it comes to talking about Cheryl.
Yeah, maybe he just remembered the cameras in the house at that point.
At that point and no other, because did you see that season?
I know. I was like, oh God, he's spilling it all. Well, Louis, probably what doesn't help is calling the girls fat. Do you know what I mean? Oh, yes, such a little bitch sometimes. Kimberly revealed in an interview in 2017, "We were doing our video for Love Machine in 2004, and Louis Walsh waltzed in and said to us, 'Oh, none of you are fat anymore. Brilliant, that's great.' Obviously, in Louis's head, he did have an issue with some of our sizes, but I think he learnt from Nigel and thought best not to comment in public, but he did in private." Of course, she's referencing the Popstars episode that we actually discussed on episode 2 of our pop group breakups that shook pop culture. She then went on to say that this was the first time I thought, okay, maybe my weight is an issue. And that makes me really sad, actually, because, you know what I mean? She was in a healthy state of mind until he came in and said that. Ugh. So Louis responded to the singer's comments about calling them fat by insisting that he would do it again if he had to.
Joking?
No. There's more. He went on saying like, "Oh, well, I actually did them a favour, didn't I? Because look how great they look now."
Not cool. Cheryl was then given the huge gig of a judge on the X Factor USA. But controversially, she didn't last long at all. Axed and shockingly replaced by Nicole Scherzinger after only 3 weeks on the job. This caused major drama.
Oh, almost as much drama as her infamous Scooby-Doo colour-themed outfit and massive hair.
What were the stylists thinking?
I know. I mean, yeah, she still looked good and
She does still look gorgeous, but what were they thinking that this would appeal to the American masses?
Yeah, maybe she really stood out.
Well, they tend to like the colour orange, unfortunately. Having been famously close to boss Simon Cowell, she was furious with him, as he hadn't even broken the news to her himself.
Not cool.
She was mortified, and the fact that she had previous beef with her replacement Nicole only added salt to the wound. And they had a very interesting relationship. In her own autobiography...
Her own one, not the bestseller Girls Aloud autobiography.
I believe Cheryl's was a bestseller too.
I'm sure it was.
She revealed their strange first meeting when the, quote, crazy starlet sang a whole rendition of Promise This in her face.
Oh my God.
She branded the X Factor 2012 judge odd, adding their first encounter was awkward and embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine? I think that's bloody weird.
Oh, I live for it, to be honest.
Oh, and their relationship / beef was the gift that kept giving. Because, of course, it gave us one of our favourite...
Oh, yes. We rewind earlier, and Girls Aloud gave us an iconic pop culture interview in which they basically just sat down and slagged off half their pop group peers, with Nicole being a main target. Ironically, Cheryl saying she would never make it as a solo star.
Oh, ouch. Oh, and also, please do enjoy our masterpiece of this on Instagram.
Well, yes, if you'd like a recreation of said interview, the Poppy C podcast is the place to be.
Yeah, so there's been all that beef, and now here comes Nicole stealing her job.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, Cheryl actually got the last laugh as she sued the American producers for loss of earnings in a rather American move, actually.
Fairs.
Yeah. She received $1.1 million for the 2011 US series and then sued for $1.25 million for the second season, plus additional damages. In November 2013, Cheryl won for her settlement for an undisclosed amount between her and her producers, Blue Orbit, which I always feel is like a lot when it's undisclosed. So good for her. She got her dollar. But she was still embarrassed. But I'm sure a couple of million helped.
Yes, that always softens the blow. During this entire X Factor saga, UK and USA, she was also taking the UK music industry by storm as a solo artist with the release of her debut solo album, 3 Words, featuring the #1 single, Fight for This Love. And this song took over.
Yes.
Cheryl said, Fight for This Love is a huge part of my life. It was everything I wanted to say, everything I felt put into a song.
Oh, and it was such a great pop song. It really took over. She even changed fashion at the time. That military look was everywhere. And it was just a really good album in general. I loved it.
Between being an X Factor judge on the UK's biggest TV show until 2010 and her solo music, she was the biggest star in UK pop culture at the time. The media were constantly reporting on her and her cheating husband, Ashley Cole, and the UK just couldn't get enough. She was the front page of every magazine, and it was just absolutely crazy. She performed her iconic Brits performance in 2010 after the news broke that her love rat of a husband, Ashley Cole, had cheated on her.
Boo.
Again.
Double boo.
She said, performing at the Brits was a great time for me to feel the reaction back. It was the first time doing it alone, and getting that response was incredible. It's all thanks for Will, really.
Well, definitely not Ashley.
No. Cheryl's first 2 albums went to #1, with her third taking the #2 spot. She bagged 5 #1 singles on the UK chart, making her the first ever female to achieve that. Starting with Fight for This Love, followed by Promise This,
Nicole's favourite.
Call My Name, Crazy Stupid Love, and I Don't Care. And it feels so freaking good to say I swear.
I don't care.
I don't care. Oh, oh, oh. I don't care.
I think she was trying to make a point.
To promote A Million Lights, Cheryl embarked on her first solo concert tour in 2012.
Although a glistening career with many highs, she also suffered many lows, with the hounding press being a main one. It got so bad, she actually had to take out an injunction against the press. A friend said, she's not sure she wants anything to do with this show business anymore. She has devoted everything to being famous and she believes it cost her her health, her marriage, and her peace of mind. It was time for a change. In 2010, after years of him cheating on her with other women, she finally filed for divorce from Ashley Cole. In the same year, she also literally nearly died.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, because it really was
It was bad.
crazy.
So she'd went on a trip to Tanzania with her partner at the time, the dancer Derek Hoff, where she got bitten by a mosquito and contracted malaria. She ended up spending 4 days in intensive care. She nearly needed dialysis for the rest of her life, as her lungs had literally filled with fluid. I don't think the British press reported on it as that serious at the time. Then the following year, she lost her X Factor job. I mean, to be honest, babes, it rivals Katie Price's bad year. Now, the other girls weren't just sitting back relaxing. No. Our Nicola, having previously struggled with her confidence, having essentially been bullied by the media over her looks, just awful, and lack of smiling. They were obsessed with her being miserable. It's not cool. Do you remember
She was
that?
insecure about her teeth, no?
Exactly. So they highlighted
We've all
that
been there.
and then picked on her for not smiling. But she decided to release her own solo music, and I'm so glad she did. Because after working with producers such as Diplo, she dropped her first single, Dance to the Beat of Mad Drum,
Classic.
in 2011.
Bop.
It was exactly that, a little dance pop bop that received great critical acclaim. As well as her album, Cinderella Eyes, released later that year, she was compared to Khalees and Robin. Her music received universal positive reviews from critics, with The Independent saying it was the best solo record from a member of Girls Aloud. But is that shady? Because had many others released.
Only Cheryl at this point.
Oh. Now, she was also a really great writer and penned songs for fellow talent show band Little Mix.
Hey.
And she went on to receive an award for her contribution to their album DNA.
It's in his DNA.
Now, how cool is this? In 2012, Bad Girl Riri chose Nicola to co-host the show Style to Rock. How amazing is that? Like, Rihanna was a producer and picked Nicola, who was then executive producer, tasked with the challenge to search for the next generation of undiscovered designer talent. So alongside bloody Rihanna and Henry Holland, of course.
Sarah, I loved this show and I wish we had had more seasons.
Oh, I think a lot of people did.
I was so obsessed with the show. I really was. Nicola also had a bit of a knack for hosting, and she even interviewed Mother Monster, Lady Gaga,
Oh my God.
resulting in the iconic meme, if you could do something dangerous just for once with no risk, what would you do?
Die. Oh, Gaga. Off the back of her passion project for the show, where she created a makeup range for pale skin girls, she moved into activism as she began to campaign for better laws around sunbed tanning. Go on, Nicola. Now, she produced and starred in an investigative documentary titled Nicola Roberts, The Truth About Tanning, in which she revealed her own personal tanning issues and those of men and women throughout the UK who have excessively used tanning beds. And in a really impressive move, with the help of a Welsh MP, she wrote a bill into law, making it illegal for under 18s to use sunbeds. That's huge.
That really is huge and really commendable.
And I'll be honest, I used to be one. Honestly, we used to just meet up and be like, what will we do tonight? Oh, we'll just go for a cheeky sunbed. And that was teenagers. Baddie. I was probably the one in my group that was like, I don't know if we should do this. She's also been a voice for anti-bullying over the years. Basically, Jacob, Nicola for PM, Nicola for president.
And she'd probably do a better job than most of the ones we've had.
Amen to that.
During the band's break, our Sarah chose to focus on her knack for acting, having already taken part in filming St. Trinian's with the girls years before. Sarah said, "Singing was always my main ambition, but acting was something else I wanted to achieve." In 2009, Sarah got straight to it, and she starred in the BBC show Freefall, playing opposite Dominic Cooper. Later that year, she returned to St. Trinian's for the sequel with the super catchy title St. Trinian's 2, The Legend of Fritton's Gold.
Yeah, it's a long one, isn't it?
But this time as the film's main star, and she played a rebel teen, Roxy, who had just joined the school, which feels very on brand, actually, and really suited Sarah's rock chick craziness.
Yeah.
Look, and as chick flicks tend to, it was panned by critics and got mainly negative reviews. But it remains a classic in the world of Poppy C. She recorded 3 tracks for the soundtrack, working with longtime Girls Aloud collaborators Xenomania. Around this time, Sarah and her boyfriend of the time, DJ Tom Crane, opened a nightclub in Ibiza, which totally fitted in with Sarah's party girl vibe. There was chat of solo music and an album, but sadly, nothing was ever released until 2021. Which makes me really sad because honestly, Sarah had quite possibly my favourite voice of the group.
Yeah, I think I might be with you on that.
Yeah, and definitely the one that really stood out. Like, she had all those moments in songs.
Walking Primrose.
Meanwhile, Kimberly started her break with a new look clothing range.
Loves that.
Then moved on to some presenting work, hosting a show called Suck My Pop.
Oh, hello.
And she even hosted the BAFTA red carpet. Look at you go, girl. She had a taste of the silver screen with a role in the Horrid Henry movie. But it was her theatre work that we think of with our musical theatre queen. And she played the role of Princess Fiona in Shrek the Musical in 2012. And I actually saw both her and Amanda Holden in this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Kimberly did really well.
Okay. I've heard she was great.
Yeah. In the same year, she donned the sequins and reached for that glitter ball trophy
Dun, 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 dun.
with partner Pasha Kovalev. And she almost won it, achieving 3 top 40 scores during her time on the show, which I believe at the time was a record.
Oh, really? Go,
At
Kimber.
the time, yeah. But she came runner-up to Olympian Lewis Smith.
Nadine,
Nadine.
our dairy girl. Oh, how do you do it?
Dairy girl.
Malang.
Girl.
And the spirit
Girl.
of Nadine crawled out of him. Girl.
No,
Girl.
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 Girl. Girl.
Girl.
Flyer.
Flower. Girl. Girl.
Girl. Pyre.
Girl. Power. Oh, fucking hell. Nadine, our dairy girl, ventured far from home, moving to LA in 2006. Now, this led to her constantly commuting back and forth between the US and the UK for her projects with Girls Aloud and as a solo artist, and this created a bit of a shift in the dynamic of the band. Surprisingly, her solo career never really took off, even though she has got a really great voice.
That really is surprising.
Well, it may be in part to her releasing it through her own label.
That will probably have something to do with it.
Yeah. And I think on the first day it sold like 150 copies.
What?
Yeah. But she did open her own Los Angeles restaurant called Nadine's Irish Mist. And I just love the fact that everyone out there only knew her for that.
I think she loved that too.
She did. And you just imagine, oh, there's Nadine from Nadine's Irish Mist. Hey, Nadine. And it was a real family venture. And part of the reason for her settling across the pond was due to meeting NFL star Jason Bell, who she went on to have a wee girl with. It was around this time that it got a little bit savage.
Oh.
There was a lot of interviews that Nadine was doing that she was basically kind of dissing the girls and saying that they just don't talk. Now, Cheryl discusses that with Nadine living in the United States and attempting to launch a solo career, it did kind of take a toll on the group. And this all culminated in the Out of Control tour in 2009. So Cheryl wrote in her book, having her manager actually on tour with us was crossing the line. And that's when I knew it was finally time for us to take a break.
Try being in Fifth Harmony, babe.
Right. Such a point. However, Cheryl denies rumours of an actual rift between her and Nadine. But it did start the slight rift with Nadine versus the rest of the girls. I would say so.
Yes, dynamics certainly became very clear in the later years. It wasn't until 2012 that we got the news that all the pop fans were desperate for. Girls Aloud were getting back together.
Woo!
And it was perfect timing to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. Back for 10, after a decade of pop hits, they had ruled the pop roost with 20 consecutive top 10 singles, 4 number ones, 5 platinum-selling albums, and 5 nationwide tours. They certainly had a lot to celebrate. And they were back with something new. Literally. All of them slotted back into their roles and were just enjoying the fun of it all.
And they did that with the very aptly named album 10. Their new and second greatest hits album. It had 2 new and final tracks, Something New and Beautiful 'Cause You Love Me. Something New was that year's Children in Need song, going straight to number 2 in the UK charts. And I love that song.
Oh, it really gets you going.
You got it. Now, the album got critical acclaim as a body of work. And once again, having worked with their longtime partners, Xenomania, they were praised for their creativity. To celebrate their 10 years, they filmed a documentary looking at their journey through the years. ITV commissioned a one-off celebratory TV show called Girls Aloud 10 Years at the Top, highlighting the impact they've had over the last decade, and is appropriately narrated by Davina McCall.
Woo!
It focused on the girls' journey, their solo endeavours, and then their up-and-coming 10 tour, with a wee sneak peek of them filming the video for Something New. And, I love this part, them all in a little huddle preparing for, can you believe it, their first ever press conference.
I literally know this exact clip that you're talking about, yeah.
It's really cute, actually, because they're all really nervous.
It is sweet.
Now, later that year, they performed at the Royal Variety Show, which seemed like a really nice full circle moment, having last performed there in 2004. I'm going to say let's focus more on the 2012, as the 2004 performance of the show is interesting. I mean, the differences between the two is comical. And, you know, bless them, they're clearly quite nervous and it's the early days. But I think my favourite part is they're not even trying to hide the fact that they're miming. There's no mics in sight, like not even a Britney mic. They're just lip syncing on the stage.
Wow.
Yeah, times have changed.
A visionary. Doing it before the drag queens.
Right. So by 2012, it was the usual polished Girls Aloud. They looked stunning in black mermaid dresses with tulle at the bottom of their gown and gold ornate design in the middle of the dress. And they provided, this time, show-stopping vocals and dazzling handography.
That's new. I've not heard handography before.
They're quite good at their handography, aren't they?
The promise is very handography.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whilst performing, of course, like Jacob said, the promise.
Oh, I got in there first, sorry.
Here I am, walking primrose. Oh, this is my favourite part.
It's the most iconic part.
I know. Talking of iconic, of course, they met the Queen. Pop royalty meeting actual royalty. And such a special way to celebrate 10 years together. In February 2013, we got their last tour, 10, the Hits Tour. Basically, does what it says on the tin. And when back together, they had the exact same dynamic. They loved the same things, got annoyed at the same things, and it was like that 3-year hiatus had never happened.
Things were about to change at the end of this tour, though, because in 2013, just hours after performing their final show at the Echo Arena in Liverpool on the 20th of March, Girls Aloud announced via Twitter that they would be splitting up for good.
Oh.
Dear Alouders, we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. This tour has been an amazing experience and the perfect chance to say thank you for being on this journey with us through a decade. It has far exceeded any of our dreams, and we hope we are forever your inspiration and reminder that dreams really do glitter. Your love and support will stay with us forever, but we have now come to the end of our incredible time together. Love you lots.
And just like that, the most innovative act of the noughties pop music came to an end. Oh, I went very Carrie Bradshaw there, didn't I? And the girls, now very much women, had time to live their lives. They, of course, got up to lots, but here's just a few wee highlights. Now, Cheryl released her fourth album, Only Human, which gave us the pop banger Crazy Stupid Love with Tinchy Stryder.
Now, now, now. Now, now, now.
In 2014, she made up with her pal Simon Cowell and returned to the X Factor. She was joined by fellow girl group member Mel B, very own Scary Spice, Louis Walsh, and Simon.
An elite year of the X Factor.
Yeah. And then the following year with, I would say, the rather rogue lineup of Nick Grimshaw, Rita Ora, and Simon.
A not so elite year of X Factor.
She left the judging panel in 2016. And then she served as dance captain on BBC's Greatest Dancer for 2 seasons. Oh, Jacob, she shocked us all, didn't she, when she married French restaurateur Jean-Bernard Fernandez Versini.
Nearly.
Fernandez.
There she goes.
Hey.
Fernando.
I remember being like, oh, do we actually need to call her that?
I just remember everyone calling her Panini.
Cheryl Panini. Oh.
She's had a bit of a rough go of it with her last names, hasn't she?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
could never really stray from Cole.
That's why she is now
Cheryl.
And after only a 3-month courtship, they were married. And we were shocked. But not as shocking as when she started dating the much younger Liam Payne. What a weird time. And the definition of punching. And this time, not from Cheryl.
Oh my God.
They also went on to have wee baby Bear.
Kimberly married long-term partner Justin Scott, who she now shares 3 sons with. Kimber, of course, appeared in more West End shows, releasing an album of musical theatre covers titled Centre Stage. However, despite all of this, arguably her most culturally impactful moment yet has been her collaboration with home improvement retailer Wix. With her own Kimberly paint line.
As exciting as watching paint dry.
What are you talking about? You've not seen her sage green colour?
Oh, well, now I'm sold. Nicola went on to make more pop history, writing even more songs with Little Mix, and some for her bestie Cheryl. She proved she had the pipes, winning The Masked Singer in 2020 as the Queen Bee.
Buzz buzz.
Sarah did the reality TV circuit. She did a little stint on The Jump, but like everyone who went on The Jump, got an injury. Honestly, can you imagine the insurance for that show? It was just
Honestly.
crazy. She did a bit of a ghost tour, but had to pull out due to the jump injury.
For goodness sake, the jump.
Jump for my
My
love. And then she joined the iconic Celebrity Big Brother and won the show.
Yippee! What a season.
But she didn't get a lot of support from her fellow Girls Alouders.
No.
And this point, it very much felt like the dynamic of the 3 besties, Cheryl, Nicola and Kimberly. And then Sarah and Nadine kind of doing their own thing.
Yes, very much so. I mean, especially as Nadine was obviously still out in LA, where she stayed until 2015. She closed her restaurant after 9 years when she decided to move back to this side of the pond to raise her daughter. During this time, it seems she did not speak to her bandmates, and boy, she made it known in interviews. Now, of course, you can't be in a girl band for over 13 years and not have a little bit of beef on the way.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for this.
And with this official 2012 split, sadly, some of the girls' relationship dynamics became pretty fractured. Nadine tweeted not long after the split announcement, telling fans, "You should know by now I had no part in any of this split business. I couldn't stop them. I had the best time and wanted to keep going." She later went on to claim she knew nothing about this split. She said at the time, "Not one of them had breathed a word. I know it sounds incredible, but it's true."
Oh, we're getting into the juicy.
We are. Are you ready? This is juicy. It was the last night of the tour. I was in my dressing room getting ready when the management came in and said, "We need to talk to you. The girls want to split up the band and this is the statement they want to put out.
Oh.
I thought, what? I said, I don't want the band to split up. They said, we know you don't, but that's what's happening.
Oh.
I said, don't put the statement out. I haven't read it properly and I have to get dressed. We're about to go on stage. I went straight to Sarah and said, do you want out of the band too? She said, yes, I do. And I felt numb. It was shock. I definitely hadn't seen that coming.
Oh, the drama.
Hilariously, Nadine would not sign any of the formal paperwork confirming the group's demise. So was technically the only remaining member of Girls Aloud.
I love that for her.
Me too.
Quite clever.
A one-woman show. Cheryl hit back, telling Attitude magazine that Nadine was full of and accusing her of holding the band to ransom. She was the one who wanted to make a solo record, which is why we took the hiatus. She wants to come out and say we broke the band up. No, she shouldn't tell Porky Pies.
Oh, this is good.
Continuing.
Oh, continuing.
Okay, so do you want us to tell the truth? She wasn't going to make another Girls Aloud record until she got a solo deal. I feel she held us to ransom and then made her solo record deal. It's the truth. She's saying that we broke the band up. So there you go.
Oh my God. Drama llama.
Messy, messy.
Well, that wasn't the only messy, because Nadine went on Celebrity Juice and Keith Lemon asked her if she sees any of them and very quickly was like, no. Then Kimberly went on the same show not long after, and when asked if they're still all friends, she pauses and says she doesn't really see Nadine. And went on to say she saw Nadine had said that they were never friends and that wasn't cool. Well, Jacob, they're no longer crying for each other like they were at the early days.
No. This is no 2002.
Oh, no. But really interesting, isn't it? Considering how close they were at the start.
Yeah. It's funny how these friendships can go.
Thankfully, though, the girls grew close again and they healed any rifts before Sarah's illness. And they were actually all in discussions to celebrate their 20th anniversary.
20 years, my gosh. I mean, I can't believe we got there.
We got there. Now, in the midst of the COVID lockdown in August 2020, Girls Aloud fans received awful news that Sarah Harding had been diagnosed with breast cancer. It had advanced to other parts of her body. In October, we were updated that she was undergoing treatment and had moved back in with her mum in Manchester. The girls rallied around her and did everything they could do to help. When COVID restrictions were lifted slightly, they all took a trip together to the Soho farmhouse. They all huddled together on the sofa and watched old footage and performances. Sadly, it was here that Sarah broke the news that the cancer had spread and it was terminal. Oh, I'm actually getting emotional.
Say, I'm feeling a bit sad.
Oh, it's so shit.
Are you okay?
I'll just blink it away.
Should I do the next bit? Okay. She was open about the fact that she just kept ignoring it, not wanting to believe the worst. At first I thought it was just the cyst. I've been playing my guitar a lot and I thought the strap had probably irritated an area around my breast. The trouble was, the pain was getting worse. It got so bad that I couldn't sleep in a bed anymore. I slept on the sofa, popping painkillers like they were Smarties. I really overdid it, but the pain was overwhelming. Eventually my skin started to bruise and by now I was terrified. She continued. One day I woke up realizing that I'd been in denial. Yes, there was a lockdown. Yes, there was a pandemic. But it was almost as if I'd been using that as an excuse not to face up to the fact that something was very wrong. All through the tests, I was of course praying that it wasn't cancer. Sarah actually released the track in 2021 that she had recorded 10 years earlier, Wear It Like a Crown, which became her first official solo release. Also during 2021, and battling her illness, she released her memoir, Hear Me Out, documenting her life and career as well as her cancer diagnosis.
Sadly, in September of 2021, we heard the devastating news that Sarah Harding had died of breast cancer, aged only 39. Her mum announced it with the following statement.
It's with deep heartbreak that today I'm sharing the news that my beautiful daughter Sarah has sadly passed away. Many of you will know of Sarah's battle with cancer and that she fought so strongly from her diagnosis until her last day. She slipped away peacefully this morning. I'd like to thank everyone for their kind support over the past year. It meant the world to Sarah, and it gave her great strength and comfort to know she was loved. I know she won't want to be remembered for her fight against this terrible disease. She was a bright, shining star, and I hope that's how she can be remembered instead. Marie.
Oh, it's just devastating, isn't it?
You okay?
Yeah. I just
Love
think
you.
it's so sad. This was me at the reunion tour. Oh. And do you know what? I think that's certainly true. That when you do think of Sarah, you think of the bright, fun energy and how talented she was.
The party girl.
Exactly. And do you know what? She leaves behind an amazing legacy with the work of the Sarah Harding Breast Cancer Appeal, which is supported by Harding's family and her former bandmates. One of her final wishes was to find new ways of spotting breast cancer early, which is more treatable and then more chance of actually surviving. And the money raised would go towards a world's first to help identify which women were at risk of getting the disease in their 30s.
In June 2022, the girls announced they were doing Race for Life for Sarah and encouraged fans to do the same if possible, with Kimberly taking part abroad.
In September 2022, they held a fundraiser in Sarah's name, which is something she'd actually asked them to do. And they even brought out a range of Primark PJs to help fundraise. It just is awful and it's really scary. And as a woman in her 30s, it's just a reminder of how fragile life is.
Definitely. Oh.
Oh,
Right, okay, we're going to bring the mood back up again a little bit because in November 2023, we got the announcement that they were returning for a reunion tour.
yes.
The Girls Aloud show would take place in 2024 with 30 arena shows across the UK and Ireland.
And I'll tell you two people that were very excited.
You, me.
Hello there. Oh, wasn't it just so good?
Wasn't it so good? I remember everything, the announcement and then us camping on our laptops to try and get tickets.
Yep, which we didn't on the first trial round. As you may be able to tell, Jacob and I went together. We had a lovely time. And I just thought, apart from it being such a good show, reminding me of how amazing they are at performing, they really had just beautiful tributes to Sarah throughout it.
I think the way they did it was really the best way I've seen a tribute done.
Yeah.
It was like Sarah was there throughout. Mm-hmm. You know, there was moments where we acknowledged her more than others, but she was always there, whether it was, you know, whilst they were performing a happy song, but she was on the visuals behind them.
Yeah.
Like, it was really heartwarming, obviously tragic. It was an amalgamation of all these feelings in one that just felt like a celebration.
It did, actually. You're right. And I think the crowd was amazing. Everyone had a similar feelings that you're describing. And I tried to stay away from social media because I wasn't sure what they were going to do. But I thought that they sprinkled Sarah's legacy throughout the show so nicely. And Jump, what a moment.
Right. Oh, we were vibing.
Oh, it was great. Obviously, after the amazing reunion, they did their last and final show of their summer reunion at a very appropriate Brighton Pride.
Come on, headliners. It was a beautiful way to cap off this long, hot summer with the girlies back doing what they do best. Yeah. And they even sprinkled in some extra tracks in their Brighton Pride set list. And one that really touched my heart was Sarah was extremely well known for her love for Madonna.
Ah, okay.
And they even added in a cover of a Madonna track for this last show.
That's cool.
Isn't that, it's just, yeah.
And Cheryl had pink hair.
And Kimberly had purple.
They look blooming brilliant. It's just so cool. And I think it's really nice because they know how much the community has supported and loved Girls Aloud. So it seemed very appropriate to end at Brighton Pride.
I do love it. I mean, and honestly, apart from being a truly remarkable girl group, I think one of the reasons their reunion was so well received was due to the fact that the UK's been missing a pop culture staple for the last year or so, and that's the girl groups.
That's so true.
Ever since Little Mix popped their clogs and said, we're going on a hiatus, see you huns, we're doing the solo thing.
Yeah. And it's been so much fun to take a nostalgic trip through the highs and lows of Girls Aloud. And let's be honest, it's mostly highs.
Yeah.
They've gifted us with endless pop bangers and hilarious pop culture moments.
Oh my. A very quick moment for the amount of memes that these girls have given us. Do head to our Instagram page because we'll be providing the goods.
Oh, yes. And whilst doing all that, they redefined and sculpted pop music and celebrity culture in the UK.
So, Sarah, there's only one thing left to say. Is it just the margaritas or are you looking at me?
It's the margaritas, babe.
Thanks for listening.
We love yous.
Till next time on
The Poppy C Pod. Girls Aloud version.
Did you tell him? No. Hi guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Poppy C Pod.
Whilst we've collected our information from reputable sources, the opinions and views expressed do not necessarily reflect or represent those who we've discussed in this episode.
As much as we would have loved to have witnessed these Poppy C moments in person,
Sadly, we did not.
and this episode is a combination of in-depth research and our own opinions.
Make sure to check out the Poppy C Pod on Instagram at the Poppy C Podcast.
And at the Poppy C Pod on all other socials.
Please leave us a 5-star review on your podcast streaming service.
It really does make the world of difference to an independent podcast like our own.
Thanks, darlings, and see you next time on
The Poppy C Pod.